I have been sewing up both sides of the dragon's tummy for a while now, and you can see where I've gone through and tightened the stitches, and we're getting a really nice line there. Got a few left here to do. Once you're confident you're on a regular track and you know your stitches are lining up properly, then you can go ahead and tighten as you go. We're at the point now where, you know, I've been stuffing as we go, but we're at the point now where we have to do something with these leg pipe cleaners. And so let me finish stuffing up to that point, because it's easier to stuff these things if you're only working around the backbone. So I'm going to finish filling this in as far as I can, and the hips take up, I think, more stuffing than anything. There's nothing that says you can't go back later and you know, add some more, but you want it packed fairly tight in there. Let's see how that looks. That's starting to come together, but see how that's flaccid right there? We're going to want to take a moment before we go too much further and fill in around that leg bone. Now take some time with that one. If you feel it too full, it's going to, you know, be kind of ugly, but you don't want it so loose that you can actually see the slackness to it. So we're just going to fill that in a little more. And again, remember, we left this tail here so that we can go back and fill in that hole without having to add any more new threads. Now that might be enough. Take your time with this. I mean, you've gone to so much time already on this dragon that, you know, slowing down and making sure everything looks right is worth the little extra time. If you're going to leave some play in it, leave it down here so that that leg fits snug. If you overfill that leg's going to kind of stick out. So leave some softness there. See, then you get that nice shape that lets that leg tuck in. And I think I got that one pretty well. This one's not too bad. I can feel a little bit of a looseness there. That's probably better. Yeah, that's looking good. Okay, so you've got to do something with these leg bones. At this point, you've got it fairly well stuffed. So we're just going to try to bring the legs one by one into position and just wind that around that backbone. Not real tight, because if we need to pull this to get more play in it for the neck, you want to be able to do that. So don't do it so tight that you can't pull on that. Okay, then we'll do this one. In fact, if you're unsure, don't even wrap them around that backbone. Instead, just wrap them around each other. Here, I'll show you with the front legs. Just kind of wrap them around each other. But again, kind of place them a little bit so you know how much, you know, to give them. But we're not going to do that yet because we're not there. That might do it. And you can see I've taken out some of my stitch markers there as I go along. Now, because you know the pipe cleaners are fairly thin, they don't give a huge amount of support. So what I usually end up doing is using this after I tighten off all the little holes. I'll use it to kind of sew a line through here to make sure that leg stays where I want it, and I will show you how to do that later if you're unsure, but I did want to tell you about it now so that you're not freaking out when you try to stand your dragon up and his legs just splay all over. But we will tighten those up into where they need to be. Okay, so just continue on up the neck and do the same thing with the arm bones once you get to about that point.